wanted to share some tips that I have used when I was quitting Instagram and TikTok, and that helped me continue that process so I didn't go back into utilizing those apps. One of the first things that I did was I engaged more with different activities around me. So I got involved in different hobbies, and I had a bit of a fear of imposter syndrome or, being scared of trying something new. So something that I tried was skiing. I've never been skiing before in my entire life, but I wasn't necessarily afraid to be a beginner. So some advice that I would have for you is if you have certain activities that you're wanting to try and put yourself out there, go ahead and do it. You'll have a lot more free time now that you're not just when you get off of work or off of school just scrolling on your phone. So that would be one of the first things that I would recommend, is to engage with life around you and find different hobbies that somewhat interest you. Maybe you could start with creating a list, or if there's different content you're consuming right now that do have those things, what type of content are you consuming, and see if you want to go and try those things, whether it can be, hiking, skiing, that sort of thing, or if you've always wanted to, get better at drawing, maybe you could go ahead and start that. So that would be my first recommendation. My second recommendation would be to watch longer forms of media without your phone with you. So it can be as simple as watching a movie and putting your phone on do not disturb and putting it on in the other, or just putting it in the other room. So that way you're not looking up what's happening during the movie on your phone, or you're not necessarily engaged with the movie. You can get your attention span back. I personally love movies. I love film, and I felt like that was one of the things that revigorated my enjoyment for movies, is that with short form media, you don't get, or like sometimes with on TikTok, there's movies on there, but they're cut up into 60 different parts, and you don't really actually get to enjoy the movie. Plus, you're watching it on a phone screen, so I would recommend just taking that time. You could go to the library, pick out a movie for free, and watch it fully engaged. So that's another thing that I would do. A third thing that I would recommend doing is creating time for yourself where you're not having your phone near you. So whether that's in the evening, something I've done recently is I purchased an alarm clock so that at night after a certain time, I'm not constantly on my phone, or I'm not constantly looking. Like if I wake up in the middle of the night and then I check my phone and then I'm on a different app for whatever reason for 40 minutes, I just leave my phone out of the room now and I just use an alarm clock. So that's something that I would also recommend that you could try, that could help you. A fourth thing I would recommend that you would do is set time limits on your phone for certain apps. So something that I did when I deleted these apps is, rather than, going and engaging with the different hobbies right away, I would go and find different apps on my phone, whether that would be Pinterest or Reddit or something like that, and I would go on those, and my screen time would still be pretty high because I was just, all my Instagram and TikTok time was now Pinterest time. So set time limits for those apps where you're not necessarily getting rid of them on your phone, but you're still being aware of how much media you're consuming. And my fifth and final recommendation would be to bring a book with you, or bring that another activity with you. So when you're headed out the door, if you're headed to a doctor's appointment and you're waiting to enter that appointment, for example, you're most likely going to pull out your phone instead of just sitting there and staring at the wall. So what I would do is, just if you want to read more, or if you want to do more crosswords or something like that, put that thing and physically bring it with you, so you're not prone to just pick up your phone. You have that other thing with you to be able to utilize, so you're not just scrolling through your photos on your phone because you don't have Instagram or TikTok anymore. Overall, be very kind to yourself during this process. It's definitely a habit adjustment. So, but overall, you're going to have a lot more free time to utilize and do the things that you want to do.